Hey guys, welcome to part 3 of the tutorial on how to create a Flash application to search through Flickr. In this tutorial I'll be showing you how to migrate the frame scripts that we have already used into external ActionScript classes. It's easier to manage this way, and I'll show you the benefits as to how we do this. So the first thing I need you to do is create a new folder onto your desktop. And let's call this new folder part 3. I then need you to go into Flash and create a new ActionScript 3. Well, no, sorry. Just grab your first week's files that I showed you how to do, the Flickr search, and open that up for me. So I'll do that now. Straight away you see a difference between mine and yours. This is a finished product, and I'll show you what we're going to have by the end of this tutorial. So it starts out the same. Press continue and we go to the next screen. You'll notice that the thumbnails have all changed. I'm just using the one. I'll explain why later on. So we click on and we get a larger preview here. You'll see this tab in the bottom. It animates. So mouse over it and it will animate up the other two thumbnails that would have been there, and then animate down. This gives you more real estate on the screen and it allows you to have a bigger preview. Now you can click any one of these thumbnails. We'll go to the same frame, and as you see there, so this is all done 100% with code. There's no manual tweening done on any frames. This is all done by event listeners. So I explained in the first 2 tutorials about event listeners and how they can be used for button presses. They can also be used for mouse actions such as mouse over and mouse out. So I'll show you how we do this. On your timeline you should still have your initial introduction that we had going before. That should all stay exactly the same. The very first thing that we need to do is just press anywhere in the grey space and click Properties. This will be the properties of your Flash document that we've created. So you'll have your stage color, the size, the frame rate. What I need you to do is press in the class and type in Photo Browser as it appears there. It'll make it easier for you to keep up as we progress through the tutorials. So Photo Browser. Now, next thing we want to do is go File, New, and we're going to create an external ActionScript file to migrate all of your event handlers into. So select from the list ActionScript file, press OK. You'll see you'll get a blank screen for coding come up. File, Save As, and we're going to call this thumbnail.as, and we want to save it into that new folder that we created. I've called mine part 3, so save it into there. Next, go back to your initial Flickr search that you had from the last tutorial. File and Save As. We're going to call it, just leave it as Flickr search, that's fine. Save it into that folder with your thumbnail.as file. So it's all posted in there now. Now this thumbnail.as file, I'll open up my previously created one for you so you can see what's going on there. What we're going to do is move all the event handlers for the thumbnail into this file. So I've opened it in Dreamweaver on accident, sorry guys. We want to open it in Flash, so once I get this to load again, I'll close out Dreamweaver, bear with me a moment. Go back into Flash. So we want to go, I'll open up my file for you. Part 2, thumbnail.actionscript. So this is what we've got. Any external ActionScript file will use a package to set it up. So you have package, open in and closed in parentheses, top and bottom there, and then we start setting some things up. So we're going to import flash.display.movieClip, flash.events.mouseEvent, and flash.events.asterisk. This asterisk will import everything inside the events file for us, the events API. Don't worry if you don't get all this code straight away, it will be in the description of the video as usual. So after we've done some initial imports on our package, you would then go through and set up any variables. We're not using any at this stage, they will be introduced later on. So for now, this is all we really need. The next thing we want to do is set up a class. Now, a class is similar to that in Java, where you create objects and custom functions, custom classes, things like that. So public class, we need the keyword public in front of the type that we're creating, because this will allow it to be referenced throughout the entire movie clip and accessed throughout the entire movie clip. The difference will be to use a private one, sorry. So type public class thumbnail, case sensitive here, so capital T thumbnail. Type in extends movie clip, will extend your movie clip, which is the base root, just what you see here. It will extend your movie clip. So once you've set that up, press enter, type in one of the parentheses, it will bring up the other one for you as well. Now, as it says here in this comment, the following code handles a press on thumb 1, which is this image, and goes to the frame that we need it to go to. So it's exactly the same as we were doing with the frame scripts, it's just in its own functions now. So public function thumbnail, add event listener, mouse event.click, we're going to call it thumb pressed. Now function thumb pressed, we're just defining the function. Return type of void, this will make sure it doesn't need to return any values. And because we're calling thumb 1 from the movie clip itself, from our stage, we need movie clip bracket root dot go to and play and frame 40 as you had before. This is needed because we're using an external ActionScript file to reference something that's on the stage. So as this code isn't in the frame, we need to specify the location of this movie clip of the thumb 1. So movie clip root dot go to and play frame 40. Close off any of your parentheses that hadn't already, and go into this back into your Flickr search file. Now, frame 20, right click, actions. We're going to take away the code that was in here, all of your event handlers and button presses that we set up in the previous tutorial. We're just going to have the stop function. Now that will stop the playhead for us, and you'll see the same appearing here on frame 40. So get to frame 40. We've just got the back button listener there. So as I said, this external thumbnail class is just handling presses on the thumbnail. This code will be in the description, so if you didn't get any of it, go and grab it now and paste it into your external ActionScript file. It's imperative that these are saved into the same folder, so thumbnail will be referenced inside here. Now the way to reference it is by clicking on your frame 20, click on your thumbnail and go to library. Now thumb 1, the one that I've got here on the stage, needs to be linked to the thumbnail class. So this linkage references the class. As long as it's in the same folder, it will be able to find it. So we're going to go right click, properties, and drop down the advanced tab if you don't have it there already. Export for ActionScript and export it in frame 1. Type in the class name of thumbnail with the capital T. This is why it is case sensitive, as I said before. And because we've already set up and saved that external ActionScript file, if you press the little edit, it will pop up your external thumbnail file. Mine didn't do it there because I've got this in a separate file to show you the finished product. So when you press it, you will see through the properties there, right click properties, pressing that will open up your thumbnail.as that we just wrote all that code into. So press OK and close that. The other thing that was new to this version is this tray that we have down the bottom. So to create this tray, we need to make a new layer, call it tray, give it a keyframe at frame 40. Now, what we're going to do is draw, I'll do it in the middle of the stage so you can see it properly. We're going to draw a tab, about so big. With this tab, we are then going to draw underneath it, in a different colour, just so you can see the difference, a box that goes the length of the stage, large enough to hold your thumbnails in. Next, we want to get the line tool, and I'm going to select black. I'm going to draw an up arrow, so the user knows what they're going to be doing with this. It's going to go up. This tab does something. Excuse the quick sketches and rubbish graphics, but it's just to show you how this works. Select the big tray, the tab, everything inside there that you see by holding shift and clicking. Right click on that and convert this to a symbol. We're going to call this tray. It's going to be of type movie clip. Press OK. Mine is already set up, so I'll just show you what to do next. The next step to do is take the thumbnail images that you had on frame 40 that were of the other two photos and place them on the same layer, cut them off the layer that they are and paste them onto the same layer as the tray inside the tray movie clip. So you can see here I've got each thumbnail inside our tray movie clip. The next step for this one that we're going to need to do is go File, New. We're going to create another external action script file for it to be handled all the code in. So press OK. Click File, Save As. I'm going to call this tray.as. Again, follow exactly as I'm typing because this way it will work just by copying the code from the description into your Flash file. Save it into the same directory where you've got your thumbnail.as file and your Flickr search.fla for part 3. Now I'll open up my finished one to show you how this works. And I'll cover how we're going to use the code. So this one is a bit bigger, as you can see. There's a couple of if statements with some variables set up, and we're extending the use of the mouse events. So this is just a very tiny portion of what Flash can do with mouse events. We're going to be using mouse over, mouse out, and enter frame to trigger certain events. So it's similar to what we were using in the first two parts of the tutorial about adding event listeners. This time for the tray, it's going to be coded so that we animate the tray in and out. For this, you're going to need to know the start and end position of your tray. So I'll load the movie and show you how it works. Should probably load it from the correct location, otherwise I'm going to keep getting errors. Okay. So when we get to frame 40, when we mouse over, it's going to animate up and stop at a certain position. Now we need to make sure that we don't go over this position, otherwise you're going to get it just go straight off the screen. And same in reverse. When it animates down, we need to get it to stop as well. So to do this, go to your tray.as file. And the quickest way to do it would probably be to copy everything that you have in the thumbnail.as and paste it straight into tray. That, or you can, if you want to just get it working, you can copy all my code from underneath the video in the description into the tray.as file. I'll go through and explain it anyway so you know what's going on, because it's a bit pointless just to provide this code and you don't know how it works. So again, we have the package. Everything comes inside, so we have the imports. Import flash.display.movieclip, flash.events.mouseEvent, and flash.events.star.asterisk. This is what